is a market failure? When the outcome of the free, unhindered market differs from the socially optimal outcome, then the market has failed. Okay, let me give you some different types of market failures and examples of each so that you can see how the outcome in each case is not socially optimal. Let's look first at externalities. Externalities occur when there are costs or benefits to anyone not in control of the transaction or decision-making process. For example, lots of people talk on their cell phones while driving. Doesn't this impose costs on people other than that driver? From a social standpoint, talking on cell phones while driving is a market failure because too much of this activity goes on. On the flip side, think about people who get flu shots. In this case, immunization benefits not only the person getting the shot, but also everyone around this person who doesn't catch the flu from them. Yet every year, from a social standpoint, too few people get their flu shots. A second type of market failure is called public goods. Public goods are commodities or services that, from a social standpoint, tend to be underproduced because it is not clear who would or should pay for them in a free market setting. We'll get into this more specifically in episode 33, but examples include national defense and roads. The next category, adverse selection. One example of adverse selection would be health insurance. Ideally, the entire population would have health coverage, but you'll find that some people decide the cost of insurance isn't worth it, particularly people who never use the insurance. If these people drop out of the market, then the remaining insurance users are a slightly less healthy segment of the population. This causes premiums to rise so that more people drop out of the market. Ultimately, the least healthy segment of the population remains, and premiums are very high. A fourth category of market failure is moral hazard. With moral hazard, a commodity or service results in more risky behavior than would otherwise occur. Consider airbags in cars. This seems like a great safety device, doesn't it? And indeed, airbags do reduce fatalities. However, research shows that a greater percentage of cars with airbags are in accidents than cars without airbags. Why? Because people don't drive as carefully when the airbag is there as a safety net. So airbags represent a market failure in that they actually increase accidents, even though fewer accidents are fatal. Other examples of moral hazard would be having a homeowner's insurance on a home that you're building in a flood-prone or fire-prone area, or even being a large financial institution if you know that you can get a government bailout. Although there are several types of market failures, we'll focus more closely on only two: externalities in episode 32 and public goods in episode 33. Next time, externalities.